Hi everyone. It is week 2 and I cannot wait for us to jump into tonight's conversation. My name is Candice Bailey and we are going to be joined by the author herself. And at this moment in time, wherever you're coming in from, please let us know where are you signing in from. We want to be able to recognize you, and you are in the right place at the right time to have the right conversation. And I'm very excited for what we're going to share tonight. If you were here last week, put a 1 in the chat. If you were here last week, put a 1 in the chat. We cannot wait. We cannot wait to hear your feedback. So what is one thing you took away from last time we were here? That was actually 1 week ago. Hi everybody. We're gonna have an amazing conversation tonight. If you are here live, that means you are a part of it. And she is joining in as we speak. Hey Nick, nice to see you. Good to see you. Hey Nick, feel free to invite your friends for us to join the conversation. Yeah.
Hi. I just don't know what it is with my Instagram. It's just clearly just doesn't want to work.
Well, you know what? Even when things don't seem like it wants to work, we still push forward nevertheless. And I'm excited that you are here. How are you feeling tonight?
I'm feeling good. How are you?
I am good. I am good. And I have been just soaking up every word of the book, but I don't want to sell anything out as yet. So, for those who are new, for those who were here last week, we are happy that you are here. Could you tell us,
Mhm.
this beautiful, amazing woman, could you tell us your name, the name of the book that we are unpacking together for the next 9 weeks? And could you tell me, like, one thing that made you smile today?
Oh, I love that question. All right, so everyone, hi, I'm Francine Forbes, and the name of my book is Be Pure Bold, A Woman's Journey to Whole Body Wellness. Think, act, and be bold. And one thing that made me smile today, oh my goodness, was being there for a friend. Being
Mm.
able to take time out of your schedule in your day and to just check in on someone and getting that feedback to say, hey, I really appreciate you taking time out of your schedule to check in with me. That made me smile.
Mm. I love that. And I mean, that's what we want to do. We want to continue to be bold. We want to think and act in that way because, I mean, everything begins and ends in the mind. And that
Yeah.
is why I'm excited to unpack chapter 2 because it deals with the mindset shift. And
Yeah.
I was reading what you were saying, and I'm saying to myself, wow, I'm feeling every single thing that you have been experiencing in those words. And I'm saying, I am curious to hear your take on this. Now, you spoke about mental stability,
Yes.
and we know that in this chaotic world that wants to shift us and move us all around the place, staying grounded and staying stable with our feet planted firmly, it is not an easy thing to do. And some persons, they're going through a lot and they still have to show up for
Mhm.
themselves, for their family, wherever their work is,
Yeah.
whatever they are invested in. And sometimes it feels like if we had like this remote control where we could press pause on the world and just be able to catch ourselves, that's tough. That's tough. And I wanted to find out, and I'm curious. It's not a question that I planned to ask you, but I just felt led to ask you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, did you feel like you were on stable ground while writing this book? What did your world look like at that point in time while writing?
Chaotic. It was filled with emotions.
Mhm.
That's why chapter one that we had unpacked last week was determining my why. So I needed to have a motivating factor to be able to get to a mental stability or shift in the mindset because like you said earlier, the mind is such a powerful tool. So I needed I needed that catalyst, I needed that pull to be like, all right, on days when it's like 4 degrees because I live in Massachusetts and it's cold.
Right.
What's going to get me out of bed? Is it breaking necks? Yeah, that will work. Is it overall just healthy? That will work too. But I needed to figure out and determine my why. But writing this book, though, honestly, it was filled with so many emotions. Even to this day, I had shared with you that it's still therapeutic for me because when I read it all over again, I still shed a little bit of tears. And I get all vulnerable and all mushy inside because it's really healing for me to be able to overcome the things that I've been through. And yeah, that's it's so chaotic, emotional, but still so therapeutic.
Mm. So this is interesting because you wrote this book, and there are a lot of persons who would go and spend hundreds of dollars on the next self-help book, and they will get to chapter 2 or chapter 3, and they'll put it down, and they are searching for this thing to help them to feel balanced. While you were writing this book, what what were some of the things you were doing to ensure that you stabilize your thoughts, you regulated your emotions, and you were in that place where, okay, breathe, you're going to be okay? What if you could just walk us through what that would have looked like at that specific time? What did you do when, because you use the word chaotic. And for me, chaotic looks like a whirlwind with everything, you know, um, up in a spiral, including yourself.
Yeah.
So when you're up in a spiral, how do you feel grounded and how do you stabilize that?
So when I chose the word chaotic, because there's a lot that was going on at that time, navigating academia, navigating working 2 jobs, just a lot that was just going on, and navigating my mental health and physical health. So definitely chaotic for sure. But you answered the question actually. One of the main things that I did to get to shifting my mind or having a mental stability was breath work or breathing, various
Mm.
breathing, because what it does, it calms your nervous system, it calms your body. Think about moments when you're feeling anxious and feeling like you're about to panic. One of the best things to do in that moment, besides utilizing maybe a benzodiazepine, which is a medication, or medications in general, is to breathe. Utilize breathing techniques. So that just helps to regulate my mind, regulate my body, and let me know that, hey, I'm okay. Another thing I did too was journaling. Journaling is, I think people sleep on journaling. Yes, I know for a little bit, I can't say my age because then it'll give it away. But I'm a pen and paper type of woman. I like to feel pen and paper and I like write things down. But there are so many different things you can do. You can use digital journals, you can use various apps, but writing things down and journaling my thoughts and where I'm at and what triggers me and different things like that and why am I feeling the way how I'm feeling, was definitely, so those two for sure. And I still utilize them because they're very effective.
So this is something spontaneous I want you to do with the community, right? And and I'm just like, it's gonna be fine. It's something that you're accustomed doing, right? So I
Uh-huh.
want you just for a couple of seconds. Could you guide us through some breath work? Just something simple, nothing too fancy, you know. Just carry us through. Everybody who is here live, carry us through some breath work. Because some people, I don't think we get time to just pause and be aware of our breathing.
So
So you can
I do
take us
something.
through that.
Yeah, I do something simple. So I'm not sure for those who eat fast food. When I used to eat a lot of fast food, Wendy's had this 4 for 4. So I like to just say that I inhale for 4, hold for 4, and exhale for 4. That's been very effective for me. You can utilize 5 seconds or 6 seconds is whatever works best, but pretty much people know that analogy. So pretty much what it is, it's inhaling, right? So you're inhaling, you're holding, and you're exhaling. So I can give you a demo, and then we'll take a moment to kind of just go through. Everyone can do their own 4 for 4 for 4. That's what I call it, just because it's I like it. It's like kind of
It's
catchy.
catchy, right?
Yeah, I can. That don't mind me. I like to just add things. It's the nurse brain. I can't help it. So I'll demo it for you. So inhaled for 4, exhale for 4, and then it's just so
Wow.
hold for 4 seconds and then exhale for 4 seconds. So we can all do it together and just seeing how we're feeling. I like to close my eyes, as you can see, just because it really helps me to block out any distractions, really focus on myself, focus on my breathing, focus on my heart rate, focus on what really is it that I'm trying to get rid out of my system. Am I feeling super anxious? Am I feeling panicky? Am I just overwhelmed? And that's been really helpful. So we can try it again, and you can do it with
Yeah.
me too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You wanna
So it,
do you wanna count us in it too, or you want us to count on our own?
I think it's best for people to count on their own because my 4 seconds may be different from your 4 seconds. Everything is so
Okay.
different to individualism. So I would say
Okay.
everyone.
All right. Okay, good.
So we can do it in like 1, 2. So we'll do 1 and 2. And just that process alone, like you're inhaling and then your body's just like, okay, come on, girl, you need to breathe. But doing that exhale, it feels like
Mm-hmm.
you're just relieving the weight, the stress, the anxiety, the depression, the feeling overwhelmed, the I didn't get to go to the gym today type of feeling. So just different things like that. It's been helpful.
That's amazing because I could literally feel everything in my body telling me, all right, let's slow down, let's be calm, and let's realize that we are giving every cell some oxygen here so that they could feel alive, and as we exhale, as you said, we are removing the things that we don't want. And that is what you did with chapter 2. You wrote certain things, and it's not like if you did a dump, but you expressed to process and to help others process. And
Mm-hmm.
in that mindset shift, there's a lot of work happening there. So I'm curious to find out, like, what is what is one of the best things that you did for your mental health and the maintenance of your mental health?
Oh, two things. Two things. Learning to let go and to say no. So
Mm,
those two things for me, especially if you're the type of human that is a giver, right? You love to give,
yes.
you're always giving, but then sometimes you forget about yourself, and that's just my personality trait. Sometimes I think it's a curse, but I'm learning
Mm,
that in a world that it's very chaotic and there's not a lot of nice human beings, sometimes the good in us are the givers. We just have to just embrace it. So that's a part of it as well. I'm a giver.
mm,
So I learned to let go and say no. And that's been
mm,
super helpful for my mental health.
mm.
Overall wellness. I don't have a problem saying no. If for those that know me, your girl is a grandma. I will go to bed at 9:30, 10 o'clock because I have a gym session at 5 or 6 in the morning. I will say no to going out. I'll say no to parties. I'll say no to anything. If I have to be at an event to be supportive, I will, but I will manage my time. And learning to let go, I don't let the actions of others, their decisions, their words, their negativity affect me because we're humans and we're social. Our friends, our colleagues, words, they can break us. So learning to just let go and have that detachment has been really helpful. So to answer your question, is two things: letting go and saying no.
And it has a nice ring and rhyme to it, letting go and saying no.
I
We
told
just
you
want to say,
it's
we just want
different.
to say special good night to Dwayne, special good night to Sarah.
Hello.
Uh, is it Lexo 17? Good to see you. And we have a couple of persons. We have Gathering Pinks. Good to see you, Nick. Good to see you. Um, you see that part? That it sounds like those are your non-negotiables. The letting go, saying no, and you're not going to negotiate on your fitness and gym sessions because I see it in your stories every morning without fail, and I'm like, yeah, she getting it in, she getting it in, and this is serious. Now, I want to shift gears a bit, and could you share with us like what was uh what was a thought that you had in that season before writing the book, during writing the book, anywhere around there? If you could say what that statement was, and then tell us what was the shift, what was the reframing that you did. So, what were you telling yourself, and now what is the truth that you have accepted?
So there's various stages. When I had first started this journey, I felt like the self-doubt, like I couldn't do it. Like I feel like, okay, I've attempted this so many times because that's why I started the chapter. It was like as a little girl growing up in Jamaica, I did the gym thing, I didn't like it, and then went to teenage years. So I felt like I couldn't do this. But once I realized and determined my why, it made
Mhm.
it easier for me to get back on track and do the letting go, saying no, work, doing the journaling, and various things like that. So now, right this moment that the book is done, oh my God, where am I mentally? I am nervous, anxious, still a little bit of self doubt just because you're like, no one knows who you are. Who's going to read your book? Why is this important? Why should I spend my money on you? And these are the different things that goes through your mind as an author, as a human, because you want to always have your things be supported and you want it to work out. But for me, I'm just like, that's where I'm at now, just anxious, just nervous, a little bit of self-doubt, but I'm working through that day to
Mhm.
day, learning
Mhm.
that even if it's just one person that feels inspired by
Right.
my book, my goal is accomplished because it's not my book, it's God's book. So
Right.
it's yours in the making, okay? Because if it was up to me, your girl would not write a book. I would just be hidden, just do my thing, see my patients, and call it a day.
Mhm.
But I believe it's important to share your story. Depending, doesn't matter if you have a big platform or not, which I don't. But if God does bless me with a platform to share my story, or whoever sees this live randomly that wants to give us an opportunity to share our stories, I'm also okay with that as well.
You know, I had to practice a mindset shift today because earlier this morning, Fran, like the holder for my cell phone for the lives, it broke
Hmm.
like beyond repair. And
Hmm.
I, in that moment, I said, okay, you could choose to laugh at this. You could choose to let it get the best of you. And you could choose to say, you know what? God knows we have a life tonight and He's going to solve it. So I had to do that mindset shift. And do you know this evening, like my husband, he went digging up, I don't know where, and he found this random cell phone holder for a
Hmm.
ring light. Apparently it was part of an old ring light I had before, and he just unscrewed it and screwed it back. And today, well, tonight, right now, I could go live and not hold the phone and talk to you like if we're doing like a video call, right? So I had to practice that mindset shift, and writing a book shifts your mind in so many different directions. And I don't think people understand what that looks like. But you are
Hmm.
also encouraging persons to come on the journey with you, to be bold, act bold. Like it,
I think bold as
there's no
well.
other way. There's no other way. And I was curious, was there a moment where fear crept in and you just wanted to abort mission and say, okay, lights out on the brain, we're not going here anymore? Like if you could relive that and tell us how it went down, could you share that with us?
Oh my God, constantly. Like I said, the self doubt and the negativity in your mind can just seep in, and you're just like, so what's the purpose of writing this thing? You've been doing this for years. Even when you finish writing this thing, who's even going to read this thing, right? So there's a lot of fear, but I believe, and I'm a strong believer in investing in yourself. So when you're to be successful at anything, you have to be uncomfortable. And
Right.
fear for me is one of those factors that you need to like, okay, it's either all or nothing, or I'm really going to do this. And I'm not going to let fear hold me back. I think we can all look at instances where we felt fearful. For me,
Mm-hmm.
your girl does not like spiders, okay? I have a big arachnophobia. But if the spider is in my car now and I'm on the highway, am I going to let that spider affect me and let me get into a car accident? Absolutely not. So I'm going to overcome my fear, proceed, pull over, do what I got to do with the spider, either let it out or do with something else, and proceed. So that's what I had to do with this book. I had to acknowledge it, my fear, understand where it was coming from, and then just move past it and just let it be like, hey, my motivating factor to be successful.
Mm-hmm. Now, Fran, when you look as gorgeous as you, it's easy to it's easy to just exude that success look, or what um sometimes people see the outside, they don't see what's the internal struggle and warfare. And to be honest, sometimes it's hard for me to show up because the mindset I'm constantly battling is your hair is not long enough. Your skin tone is not even. And while I was reading chapter 2, I resonated with a lot of things you were talking about, and you were talking a lot about body image, how you view yourself. And while you are thinking this and writing this in the book, somebody else reading it is like, she doesn't see the cover of this book. She's gorgeous. Like, why would she even think this way? And we all know that the battle is in the mind, for the mind, with the mind. And there's this thing right now where persons are craving desperately external validation. And you brought out that in chapter 2. And I had to question myself, like, Candice, are you still seeking validation outside? Or are you able to encourage yourself in the Lord and know that you are who He says you are? So, my question is for the person listening now who they seem to be achieving a lot. Persons are telling them how successful they are. People are gravitating to their energy and they love them. But when they enter that house and they turn that lock and they drop the car keys on the counter and they sit in the couch and they slouch and they think to themselves, I don't feel enough. I don't feel like I'm worthy. I don't feel like I'm valuable. These thoughts come through the mind, and there's a process of capturing it, reframing it, and making sure the truth sits in our mind. So, for the person that is listening and the person who's going to read chapter 2 and unpack it,
Mm-hmm.
what do you want them to think? What mindset do you want them to have when they feel like I can't survive or I cannot move forward unless I have external validation?
So I'm glad you brought that up because for external validation is something that I had mentioned wholeheartedly in my book. I seeked plastic surgery. I wanted to look like your favorite celebrity or influencer, that whatever that picture perfect narrative that the people who control the media or push the narratives, right? I wanted to look like that. And then you would come home, look at my cellulite, look at my strawberry legs, because I had mentioned that into the book, and
Yes.
just overall my body. And I'm just like, I'm not happy with that. And when you look at my social media, when you look at me, you see this and you're just like, this girl has to be, what is wrong with her? Let's get it together. But in that moment, as you said, once you come through that front door, doors are
Mm.
locked, keys are there, your mind starts racing and you start going through that spiral of, I don't look like this person. I don't make as much money. The comparison in this culture in life is just, it's a weapon that destroys our happiness, and it's tough. But I will suggest two ways, just because I'm also a board certified psychiatric nurse practitioner. If you're finding that determining your why and journaling and meditation and various practices aren't helpful for you, then I would always encourage people to seek professional help as well, whether that's seeing a therapist, whether that is seeing a psychiatric nurse practitioner or a psychiatrist, or just tapping into that one person that you can trust, right? If you don't have anyone to trust, then always seek professional route, because we have protocols in place to ensure that you're safe, you're in a safe space, your information won't be released. You can share things with us as long as it's not going to harm yourself or others. Then we will
Right.
obviously have to express and let you know, like, hey, this is like a safety concern. But I was there, like I said, I was there. There was numerous, like I said, my 25th birthday, what should have been a joyous celebration, I cried my way home 45 minutes from Boston to where I was living,
Mhm.
and cried myself to sleep the entire night because I just wasn't happy. I didn't feel beautiful. I didn't like my body. I didn't like anything about it. And I would get up the next day, go to work and do what I have to do, and come back and cry the entire night. Eyes were puffy. But to the person that is watching this and eventually see this live, you really have to look where you're at currently, identify your version of wellness, not your partner, not your spouse, not whoever on social media, your influencers, your celebrities, whoever, not the gym person. Really look at where your life is. Look at your resources financially, physically, emotionally, spiritually, everything around you. What can you really give yourself right now? And what can you do for yourself? Is it just being able to go for a walk? That should, can that be a goal? If you're really, really depressed and haven't left your bed in days, maybe aim for, hey, let me just try to pull the curtain to a side. That's still getting out of bed to pull the curtain and then you can get back in, right? It's really looking at your version of wellness and determining where you're at to be able to propel. Because the small changes, people like to do these big wins and to celebrate big wins, but the small changes are incredible because they're building consistency, they're building discipline. And that's what I had to learn as well throughout these moments, is to build consistency, build discipline, build a little delusion. That's going to help me because I wanted to break. So breaking next was, find something that's going to really propel you as well, like something that will make you
Push
laugh.
you
That,
along.
yeah, just really push you along. So breaking next and everything else that I had mentioned is really what got me to that point as well, to just overcoming.
You know, you said something, and I know we're going to wrap up this conversation soon, and I want to make room for those who have questions. And I'm curious. Let's do an assessment while we are here together, right? Community, welcome, welcome to K Martin, welcome to those that just join us. We are on the Be Pure Bold with Fran series. She just wrote her book, her first book, right?
My first ever book,
Your
girl. Yeah.
first ever book, her baby, and she's teaching us how to be pure bold. And as we unpack, we are in week two. Last week we unpacked week one in terms of chapter one, and today we're talking about the mindset and that mindset shift. Now let's do an assessment together. I will do it too. I don't want you all to do it alone. So Fran said to see your own version of wellness. So
I think
let's just
that
envision what is your version of wellness? What do you want it to look like? And on a scale of 1 to 10, one being like it's not there at all, and 10 being yes, this is closer to the version of wellness that I want, the version of mindset I want, the version of wholeness that works for me and my development. So let's do a rating, okay? Everybody put in the chat, where do you think you are at? Are you a 1? Are you a 5? Are you just at the 7 point, or are you a 10? Like if you're a 10, put 10. So I'm going to be very honest with myself, and I'm going to drop my number, and I locked it in. Fran, did you drop your number? Oh, Fran, yeah, Fran.
I
So
gave myself.
before we leave, you have to clear up two things for me. Why you give yourself a 7, and what is strawberry legs? Like I've been reading that paragraph over and over and trying to figure out what is strawberry legs, because I am from a place where we eat mangoes. Strawberries are luxury. You know, you eat that when you come to the USA or colder countries. So why did you give yourself a 7? What are strawberry legs? And what are your final words for tonight as we wrap up week two, chapter two?
All right. So I gave myself a 7 because remember I stated earlier that even though the book is done, I'm still navigating the self doubt, the anxiety, everything else about being a new author. And will people even gravitate to this book? Like, no one knows you. What's the point of even doing this? It's still working on that because it's the self doubt. Even though I've implemented so many resources to help me, this is new. I've never written anything. So just coming out of my comfort zone and putting myself out there more and doing lives. For those that know me, I don't do lives. I do not do lives at
We're
all. Like,
proud of you. You're being bold and stepping out.
exactly. So it's a lot. And then so strawberry legs, right? It's just a term. So it refers to like small dark spots on the legs. There's a medical term for it, but if you just Google strawberry legs, you'll see what it's like. So it's just I need to just exfoliate and moisturize a little bit more, and then that would be it'll get rid of it, hopefully.
Look at that. She's giving us like skincare tips here. and dropping all of these good wellness tips and guidelines. Um, Dwayne says he's a six. Dwayne, drop in the chat why you a six. Welcome, Sashel. Welcome those who just joined us. We are on the Be
I
Pure
will.
Bowl with Fran, and this is a 10-week unpacking of her latest and favorite book. We are excited. We are excited, and we want to encourage you. Shift your mind. It's going to do you well. Your future self is going to thank you. Your
Yes.
spouse, your friends, your community, your circle is going to thank you. And Fran, we did some background information on you, and you shared with us in the virtual green room that you love reading your Bible and you value prayer. So
Yeah.
I want to give you the opportunity to close off tonight's conversation. Anything you want to share with us about that practice and routine of reading your Bible and prayer? How does that fit into our mindset shifts and just wholeness on a whole?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So not everyone is religious, right? And I understand that. But for me, I need something that's grounding. So it's more about a lifestyle. And I wake up at 4:56 every morning, Sunday through Sunday. It's early, but nonetheless, I get up, I meditate, I pray, I read my Bible, and it just helps me to just start my day really, really well. That may not work for you, so utilize what works. Like I said, not everyone is religious, but this is my version of wellness that works for me. So that's why I always like to let people know, like, identify your version of wellness. What resources can you utilize? You don't have to wake up at 4:56. Maybe you're leaving work at 4:56 a.m., right? So really tap into where you're at in life and just find something that's grounding, that keeps you motivated, and keeps you productive throughout the day, and just keep you calm. Because listen, in my field, I work with a lot of humans with a lot of emotions, and sometimes you just need something that's grounding, because you don't want to take work home with you. So many of us do that. You don't want to take work to the gym or anywhere else, at the coffee shop. So I try to just utilize and ensure that I start my day grounded, hydrated, of course, but also in meditation and prayer. And I remember, I'm funny that you asked, because I remember I stayed at a friend's house, and this person asked me, "You're really gonna get up at 4:56 in the morning on a weekend to pray and meditate?" I'm just like, "Yes." They're just like, "Well, good for you. I'm not doing that." And I said, "That's fine. You don't have to, but this is what works for me." And I always encourage people to find what works for them as well. So the book is, chapter 2 is shifting your mind. So when you go through it as well, and once it's finally out, you'll see that it's like a mini workbook. And that's how I wanted to create. I wanted to be engaged, and I wanted you to really challenge yourself and write on it, write on it. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna pass it down to someone else, fine, but take out a piece of paper once you do have the book, and really go through it, and really utilize it as a workbook as well, to kind of just help you unpack.
So you heard it. You all got permission to write on it. Make it your own version of wellness, your own book. Write,
Yes,
write, write. And it's a healing process. Whatever comes up, let it come out on the page, see it for what it is, and take that bold step to take action for you, not for anyone else. And as we close off, thank you. Thank you, Dwayne. Dwayne said six because I'm seeing growth and progress, but inconsistencies. We celebrate you, Dwayne, because you are aware, you are assessing yourself, and you're going to take action. You already taken action by showing up on this live. So we have a couple more weeks together right here, same place, same time, every Monday. And we
yes,
look forward for you to be part of the conversation. Fran, we love you. We thank you for being here. And we're going to remember to breathe for four, hold for four, and out for four, because only good vibes only we
yes,
inhaling.
yes.
And we are very thankful for the mindset shift that we had tonight. So all the best to everyone who is here. Please, when you come next week, share it with at least 10 friends so that they
Yeah.
can benefit from the conversation as well. Fran, any last words before we sign off for tonight, week 2?
Just something that we're grateful for. If you can put it in the chat, and you and I will talk about it. I like to end it this way, just because it's late at night. It is around what, 9 o'clock. US and 8 p.m. in Jamaica. So I like it to just, or different parts of the world, it's late or early, depending on where you're at. So just something that you're grateful for that can start your day or end your day. So I'll ask you, Candace, what's something that you're grateful for?
You said that and my heart started beating already because I'm grateful that my husband found this part so that we could go live tonight. I am so great. Like I keep telling him, thanks, babe. Thanks so much. Thanks so much. You don't know how much he saved the day. So I'm thankful for his handiness and his ability to help me in this moment. What are you
Perfect.
grateful for?
To be honest with you, health. Um, in this field, a lot of us struggle with either mental health or physical illnesses or conditions. So just being able to be healthy and be able to go to the gym and move my body. I'm grateful for good sleep. Good. Listen,
He's trying to remind us that we need to be going in our beds around this time. Definitely.
that is noted. Don't worry. We got the gist. We got the hint. We are wrapping up. But yes, that is a good thing too, is to be grateful for sleep. That's good, but I'm just grateful for health. And that's something that we take for granted until we no longer have access to it. So,
Mm. Good stuff. Thank you, Fran. Thank you, community. See you
you
same time, same
next.
place next week. God bless and continue to be pure bold. Take care.
Bye, everyone. Good night. Thank you for joining.
Bye.
Bye.